Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us today for the AppSmash Festival. Really excited to have you all on board. Uh, Tejas here from the Wakelet team, and I've got Mike from Microsoft joining us. Mike really needs no introduction, but I'll pass it over to him to do a little intro and go further into the session.
Well, hey, thanks for having me, Tejas. And hey, all you Wakelet and Microsoft folks out there. I work on the Microsoft Education product team, and we build a lot of the Microsoft Education software, including all of the great Wakelet AppSmash integration points you're going to see today. So thanks for having me. I've been pals with the Wakelet team, gosh, since close to the birth of the Wakelet team. It feels like for quite a while.
Yeah, it has been a really, really long time. I think 2018 was when we did the first OneNote integration. It's been a while, and it's been an absolute pleasure working with yourself and the rest of the team at Microsoft. Always exciting to be on one of these webinars and having you join us. And I'm sure everyone joining is going to be really looking forward to what we have for them today. Just curious to also see where we have some of our users joining in from the community. We've got a pretty global community, and people joining in from probably over 100 countries. I see Fatma from Egypt. Hey, Fatma. Anas. Hello, how are you doing? A lot of familiar
All up
names
from
and
Syria,
faces
Tunisia, Poland. Wow, all over. Croatia,
from
UAE.
Iraq. Wow.
Generally, always got to have Generally in the house.
Hey, good to see Janely here. Thanks for joining, guys. That's really nice to see. Yeah, super excited to have everyone on here join. It's been a while, I feel, even for me, being on one of these sessions. But what better way to come back than besides Mike and sort of taking it back to some of the amazing integrations that we built together and that are used by our community across the globe, which is essentially what we'll be taking you through today is how to enhance your communication within your classrooms with the power of Wakelet and Microsoft. But before we do go into the whole AppSmash theme, we also wanted to sort of take you through Wakelet. I know a lot of you on here probably already know what Wakelet is and are probably going to say, Tejas, we know that. We've used it several times over, but there's probably a lot of you who've joined who are not very aware of the platform, or maybe this is your first ever touch point. So for the sake of everyone new on the call, I'm just going to share my screen really quick and essentially take you through Wakelet. Hopefully, you should be now able to see my screen. Mike, are you able to see my screen? Yeah, perfect.
Thumbs up.
So over here, I have a collection, and essentially, before I go into the concept of a collection and what it encompasses, Wakelet as a platform is a content curation platform. It helps you save, organize, and present content from across the web. So whether that's your favorite YouTube video, article online, anything that is publicly listed online on the internet, and that can be shared, can be added into a collection and presented very aesthetically. This has enabled the education community across the world to be able to use the platform to really communicate resources in unique ways. A lot of the education community have used this ability of Wakelet to communicate resources on homework topic areas, on assignments that are coming up. A lot of the times we've seen unique use cases like newsletters that are being now distributed to teachers or the PLN and even the parent community. So a really fascinating breadth of use cases that have come on the back of this basic concept of a collection and the content housed in it. So over here, I just have an example of what a collection looks like. I think it'd be a nice visual cue to take you through some of the concepts that I just spoke about. So as I said, we have this concept of a collection. You can give it a header, a beautiful header image over here that you see, a description, and this particular collection is on the marine biology of the Galapagos Islands. You can also have a background image, which sort of enhances the the aesthetic of the collection and just enhances the students' ability to connect and engage with this particular collection. I've also gone in and added a bunch of text. I've added the location of the Galapagos Islands. I've defined it, so there's the ability for teachers to add text and provide further context to the topic that they're trying to talk about. We've got over here a few links that are publicly listed online. And you can imagine all of this just by themselves are links with no real context and text. But together inside of a Wakelet collection, they really add and enhance one another because of the aesthetic component that the website allows for. And we've only taken this a step further with a lot of the integrations that we have with Microsoft. There's a bunch of stuff that we can do really well, that I think we specialize in, which is content curation, but there's so many things that we're not great at and we have to rely on our partners for. And there's a bunch of these integrations that we've done with Microsoft that have only enhanced our capacities and capabilities. But as you can see over here, the varieties of content that you can have inside of a collection are really wide. You can really go into literally any publicly hosted web link. You can also have PDF files, by the way, which adds a nice mix into the whole play, because then you have content actually created by the educator that can be uploaded or the student for that matter. And a lot of the videos will play inline, as you can see over here, which is really cool for, when you share this sort of content with a student to sort of keep their concentration on this particular collection and the content that you're trying to deliver through it. Just to take you through really quickly how it works, because you're probably, for those of you new to the concept of Wakelet, you're probably thinking, oh, that looks beautiful, but how do you actually go on to design it? How do you go on to add content? So I'm just going to take you through the content edition bit. So you literally go on the web, copy a piece of content, go back into a collection and paste it in here. And as soon as you paste it, our servers and backend will scrape the image, scrape all of the information and add it into the collection. And it looks really nice and beautiful. And as you can see, it's happened pretty much instantaneously. So it's literally as simple as that. We've got a bunch of other options over here where you can add text, you can add images from your laptop or desktops, you can add saved or bookmarked items, PDF files, and then of course we've got an array of AppSmash I don't want to go into the different apps and what you can add because this particular session is on Microsoft, but there's a wide variety of apps that you can use inside of the collection as well. And that's sort of a quick 2 to 3 minute intro of Wakelet and what you can do with the platform. So I'd urge you after this session, if you're new to the platform, to go give it a go. It's very, very simple to use, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun and find value in it in your classroom and with your students. And now for the really fun bit, I'm going to pass over to Mike, who's going to take you through Microsoft, but also talk through the topic of the session, which is app smashing, Wakelet, and Microsoft. So over to you, Mike.
Great. Well, thank you, Tejas, and thanks for the little tour there. I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm just going to do a couple of slides, and then I'm going to just go do demos. So first off, I love the Microsoft Hearts Wakelet. We definitely are big supporters, big fans, and I've known Tejas for quite a while at this point. And also, for those of you who might know me on social media, or those of you that don't, I do a lot of social media stuff. So whether it's X, or making videos in various places, definitely follow out there. Now, Tejas has said I could, at least before we get into the Wakelet, anything I want to talk about that's top of mind for Microsoft education. So, and I'm not going to go deep into this, but at a high level, the thing that we're really excited about, that I've been building on my team, that we've been launching, are things called learning accelerators, which are built in to the Microsoft Education Platform. They're part of teams, in some cases outside of teams, but they're really focused on skills. So if you've heard of Reading Progress and Reading Coach, that's a learning accelerator. If you've heard of Search Progress and Search Coach, which just came out a week ago, that's a learning accelerator. Wellbeing and Reflect, That's a foundational skill. That's a learning accelerator. And we're also working on math as well as speaker progress and speaker coach. So if you think about these as foundational skills and future ready skills, there's this whole suite of these learning accelerators that we're building now. Some are already out, some are coming soon. But that's been a really big focus because as we come out of the pandemic, there's foundational skills are a key aspect that many schools and districts all around the world are focusing on. And everyone also cares about future ready skills, information literacy, public speaking, communication, etc. And just to wrap up, how do these fit into the Microsoft Education platform? I call this is like the layer cake. Yeah, there's a lot going on, but I actually like it because Microsoft Education is such a big area. And if you want to think about how these things fit together, at the base, there's core components like the device, Intune, Windows, security tools, which we have a lot of, our accessibility solutions, our inclusive solutions, things like Immersive Reader, which you're going to see today with Wakelet integration. Then there's our instructional tools. So Teams for Education, OneNote Class Notebook, Flip, Minecraft Education, Clipchamp, all these pieces are at the instruction layer. And then at the very top here is this brand new layer, is this learning accelerators, which are built into the entire platform, our foundational skills and future ready skills. So if you ask me, what am I spending a lot of time on these days? It's the learning accelerators, and happy to give you more information online, on social, send me mail, send me tweets, send me whatever you want, and happy to share more. So with that, we're going to get into the app smashing. And so I'm going to be showing top 5 Wakelet and Microsoft EDU integrations. And by the way, if you haven't seen the new default font in all the Office apps, it's called Aptos, A-P-T-O-S. It's just rolled out. So this is the new Aptos font. Little fun fact. So I'm going to flip over to Wakelet, and I'm going to start with the Immersive Reader. This is maybe one of my top favorite integrations of all time in terms of Wakelet integrations. And they were one of the early folks to do this as well. So let me go, and I'm going to find a collection here. So I've searched on Immersive Reader, and look, there's this Immersive Reader collection that someone in the world has created. So I'm going to open this up. This is Tech is for Girls. And I'm going to scroll down this collection. And for text content, there's this beautiful Immersive Reader button, and you may or may not have ever seen it. So any text content in a Wakelet collection will have this. So I'm going to click this Immersive Reader, and this is what the Microsoft team builds, but Wakelet's integrated. And this is an inclusive reading tool. Oh, hey, that was an interesting one. Let me try that again. The Wakelet team integrated this as part of the inclusive and accessible technology. So we have things like text-to-speech, so I can read out loud.
Immersive Reader supports many types of students. It supports students who have dyslexia.
So as read aloud, you can change the way the page looks. So I can choose different background colors. I can increase the font size really big. That can help with people with visual impairments. I can have spacing increased or not, so I can switch back and forth, and a few different font options. But what's really powerful is I start to get into things like breaking down syllables, or if I want to highlight the nouns on the page really easily, or the verbs or the adjectives. So we highlight different parts of speech. And then probably most powerful is you can go in and do things like line focus. So if I want to focus just on one line at a time, I can do that. I can read out loud still.
Special physical needs. Specific learning disabilities.
I can also do 3 lines or 5 lines. I like the font a little bit smaller here, so we'll put more on the page. So 3 lines or 5 lines. We also have the picture dictionary, so I can click on different words and get a visual representation. So different types of ways that I can show that. And then lastly, we can translate in over 116 languages. So if I want to translate that text into, say, Spanish, and then read it out loud.
Immersive Reader admite muchos tipos de estudiantes. Apoya.
It's a very powerful tool that is built right into a Wakelet collection. So that Immersive Reader button right there, it's great for not only students, but for parents. Maybe you're putting together parent guides or newsletters, and the parents don't speak the native language. Super easy to just open all that text up, translate it, read it out loud, do whatever you need to do. So Immersive Reader is baked right into Wakelet, which is really cool. And the next one, I've got a Wakelet collection here. This is oldie but a goodie, how to become a OneNote ninja. So a lot of great stuff in this collection. I've put together all sorts of resources from all around the web. Hey, if you're a fan of the eTwins, there they are. Lots of great stuff in here. So give you a little bit of an inception. What's kind of cool, the movie Inception, if you've seen that, I can paste a Wakelet collection right in here on a OneNote page. So I'm here in OneNote and it will render. And so what's really cool is now I can embed different Wakelet collections on any OneNote page and those will render. And I can size that. So if I want to make it a little bit bigger, you know, if I use the OneNote class notebook, I can distribute this page to my class. So my class gets imagine a binder full of Wakelets and you can distribute these pages everywhere. And so these are active links. So I can launch any of these links right here from in the Wakelet collection. Now here's another one. I put the immersive reader in. We've got a Wakelet collection that I made on immersive reader. So I added that one in here. So you can imagine a binder full of different Wakelet collections that you can just paste the link into OneNote. Super simple. So that one is great for that organizational metaphor. Again, imagine I've got pages full of Wakelets. I could distribute Wakelets. I could use them in my staff. I could share them with my PLC, my professional learning community. So that one's really great too. And that one is available today and you could try it out, you know, right after this webinar if you'd like. So moving on, so we did immersive reader and then we did OneNote. The next one is going to be Teams, and there's quite a few in Teams. Actually, maybe I'll do the share to Teams next. So let's say that I've got this great OneNote Ninja Wakelet collection, and I want to share this to my class, and I'm using Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams for Education, for those that aren't aware, is our free classroom management tool. You can make assignments. You can have students do collaboration, work on projects together, lightweight grading. So let's say I'm going to work and I want to have this Wakelet collection, and I want to share that to my class team. I want to make an assignment. Wakelet has this share button in the upper right, and we have Teams integration. So right here, there's a little Teams button. And if I click that, what that's going to say is it's going to ask me to share this to a class team. So I've already got a class team that I've signed in as, and we'll give it just a sec to load here. And it's going to let me pick where I would like to share that to. And so as a class team, I have channels. So in this case, I've got a language arts class. I'm just going to share it into this channel. It pulls up a little thumbnail of that Wakelet collection. I can share it to a person, but in this case, I'm going to create an assignment. So I can literally just create an assignment straight here. So I'm going to put it in my language arts class. You know, I'm just going to keep this simple. Please read this collection. Try that again. Please read this collection. I can give some instructions. I can say, is it worth points? You know, I can do all those things, give it a due date. And then I'm just going to click assign. And what this is going to do is it's going to push an assignment straight into Microsoft Teams right from Wakelet. So now when I go back into Teams, that'll show up as an assignment. Here it is. Kara Coleman just added an assignment. If I go to my assignment list for language arts, you know, please read this collection. So I've got that assignment that I just pushed out to my whole class, my class of 4 students. So really nice and easy assignment integration directly from Wakelet collections. So I can go right here and just click share on anything and just share it right into Teams. So that is integration number 3. The 4th integration inside of Microsoft Teams. So I'm here in Microsoft Teams, and you can see I've got my language arts class. Now I've got my class notebook, my classwork, my assignments, all these great things. And Microsoft Teams has these channels. And this is where we collaborate and have conversations. Just like if you've used Teams before, it's just part of the class team. And we can add apps across the top. So in this case, maybe I'm going to go to my book club channel that I've created in my class. And I'm going to hit the plus button, and you can add apps, right? We're talking about app smashing. And Wakelet is one of the apps. You can search for apps. So if you don't see it like mine as a default that I've added, but you can easily add apps. So you can search for Wakelet. And what it's going to do is it's going to say, would you like to pin a Wakelet URL? So I'm going to go back to my favorite OneNote Wakelet collection. I'm going to paste that URL. And it resolved it. Yep, get a check. Hit save. It's going to post the channel about this when it adds it. And it's added this tab right into my class. So now I've got my main posts. I've got files. I've got notes if I'm doing a OneNote. And I can go right here. And now there's a Wakelet tab built into my class. So if there's really interesting reading or a set of links, or you're doing you're studying different literature and you have a bunch of collections on research, that can be posted directly into your class. And because I said post into the channel, it automatically says I added a tab at the top of this channel. Check it out. So there's a little Wakelet right there. I can even do replies now. And because I've added that app, I can even go right here and do a little reply message. So I can search my collections because I've added that. I think I have an immersive reader collection. Yeah, got an immersive reader collection. So I can literally I responded with a collection right here in line into Teams. So that's kind of cool. So after you add this little Wakelet app, anytime you reply, you can go to the three-dot menu and search your collections right there. So you can reply with a Wakelet. That I'm guessing Teijas would love to be replying with Wakelets all day long if he had his choice. Okay, that was the fourth integration. And the fifth one, the last one, and this is one that a lot of people don't know about, I'm going to go into assignments. So this is in my class team. I make assignments, going to assign things to my class. I'll go down to the bottom and hit create, and I will click new assignment. And this is our normal assignment form. So again, I'm just going to give you, please read. I'm giving really lame instructions, so forgive me. Yeah, I give some instructions. I give it a title. I say what class. But under apps right here, right, you see you've got attach, you've got new, you've got apps. And you also have learning accelerators, by the way, which I mentioned. But we're going to go to apps right here. And we've got lots of different apps, so Flip, Buncee, but we've got Wakelet too. And you can add a Wakelet app as part of your assignment. So I'm going to do that. And again, you can paste URL. Maybe this time, maybe I'll paste this as a cool little Wakelet and OneNote thing we put together a couple years ago. But I'm just going to paste the URL to that one, get the green check, I hit save. And it attaches that Wakelet right to my assignment. So I could attach lots of things. I could attach a Word document. I could attach a class notebook page. So you could attach a Word document and say, like, please write a book report on the Wakelet research that I attached. That's probably a lame assignment, but you could come up with amazing assignments, I'm sure, better than I could. But you can add things like rubrics to your assignment, just like you could in all your other assignments. You could assign it to different groups of students, individual students. You could give it due dates. It's really just a Wakelet assignment. And at the bottom, I just click assign, and it blasts that assignment out to my class with the Wakelet tab. So those are really 5 quick ways that you can integrate an AppSmash Wakelet with Microsoft. I went through each of these, and this deck's available. So immersive reader, the OneNote embed, share to Teams, the Wakelet tab app, and then adding a tab app as an assignment into Teams. So all of those things are available today. I have a collection on this. I also made a YouTube video a little while back that covers a lot of these. So if you're on my YouTube channel, this one exists already. And if you want a copy of the deck, here is the link. Got a QR code, and I've got a Wakelet collection that has a bunch of links in it as well. I think we're going to get that to folks after. So I made a little Microsoft and Wakelet classroom collection that has a bunch of links as well. And with that, I think Teijas and I are going to do a little Q&A and hang out a bit. So Teijas, let me unshare my screen. And,
thank you.
Hopefully people learn some stuff.
No, I'm very, very sure they have. That was amazing, Mike. Thanks so much for taking us back. It really felt like I was going back in time a little bit as well, looking at the the OneNote and Immersive Reader integrations. I remember back when Immersive Reader was in private preview, and we jumped on board, and wow, it's been an amazing journey since then, and everything that we've done together. And yeah, I'm sure everyone watching must have, especially the ones who are new and I've heard about the 2 platforms partnering together for the first time, probably really surprised by the depth of the integrations that we have.
There's some good stuff.
Some really, really nice stuff. So yeah, like Mike said, we're taking questions at the moment. So any questions that you have, please pop into the chat, and we will pick some of the questions and essentially, answer any queries that you have. We want this to be as useful and applicable as possible when you start this new school year. This is why we're doing it. So yeah, shoot over. Whilst you're coming up with questions, I did see one earlier in whilst you were presenting, Mike. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but the question was essentially in regards to how there can be real classroom application for some of the integrations between Wakelet and Microsoft. And I wondered if you could share. I remember you had an amazing example of how Immersive Reader has changed, how teachers communicate within the classroom and how they communicate with perhaps parents who are not non-English speakers. And that can be extrapolated into Wakelet as well.
Yeah, I could talk about that all day long, but I'm a big fan. For those that know me, I'm really passionate about accessibility, the inclusive classroom, and how technology can be a leveling of the playing field. And I think Immersive Reader is one of the best examples of that, because there's so many students with dyslexia, ADHD, mobility impairments. There's various reasons, non-native speakers. There's so many ways why students can't always engage with text in the way that they would like to. And the Immersive Reader is really inclusively designed to allow that. And it's not only with students, we have many examples of parents who also, not only sometimes parents don't speak the native language, now sometimes parents can't read in the native language either. And so with the text-to-speech read aloud, we've had so many examples. Again, Wakelet is incredible for parent engagement, but also even just being able to read different parts of the text where it's just too hard for some folks to decode, at least at the right speed. So Immersive Reader really allows folks to be included with everyone else, whether it's the students or the parents. And so I think that's a fantastic integration there in the classroom. And the other one is that I talked about it. A lot of educators, actually the original one, Becky Keene probably is not on this webinar. Maybe she is, but if she was, Becky Keene tweeted, I don't know, 4 years ago, that she said, I wonder how hard it would be to have Wakelet be able to be embedded inside of OneNote, and her little hashtag dream big that she always used. And so we took that tweet, we went to work pretty quick, and I think within 2 weeks we worked with Wakelet. And so now you can embed those pages, those Wakelets in OneNote and distribute them to the class. So it's a great way to just be super organized and compact with lots of information. And so I've got a lot of examples where educators have used the class notebook. They've distributed pages that have Wakelets embedded. They make Wakelet binders, lots of really cool creative stuff that educators have done.
Amazing. And we've got a question from Abdul Jalil. Apologies if I haven't pronounced your name right. It says, how can educators use Wakelet in conjunction with Microsoft Teams to improve the organizing and sharing of educational content? Yeah.
Great question. So I just showed a class team, and it's great for sharing information in a class team. What's nice about Teams for Education, which is totally free, by the way, Teams is free, no cost. And we have what's called staff teams templates, and also PLC, or professional learning community team types, which are designed just for educators collaborating. And so what's really cool, I showed that example where I added the plus, and you can pin Wakelets right there in Teams. Also, staff teams and PLC teams come with specialized OneNote notebooks built in. So you can imagine your PLCs collecting all sorts of information and research and data, embedding, having that, pinning that in collections, and then making them available at scale across your staff team or your PLC team. So it's just a really compact and efficient way to organize information, and then have it in the same place where all the educators and staff could be collaborating. So there's great staff and PLC scenarios where these same Wakelet integrations work. It's not just with the students, it can be with staff and PLC as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that, Mike. I think it's genuinely probably going to help a lot of the educators on here who were thinking of the same question. To wrap up now, we had created a very nice template, essentially to help you organize all of your Microsoft resources in one place and use it as a way to engage with your students and what will be an activities area that we'll be releasing very soon. We were going to distribute and release the free trial on the call today. However, we have push back on that, and we will be releasing the free trial tomorrow. So please do keep an eye on your emails for when we send you the Microsoft template from today's session, which will help you then engage with the activities area inside of Wakelet. And just some context for that, so a lot of you may be thinking, what's activities and what's it have to do with Wakelet and Microsoft? So we also have an integration with Microsoft, which is not very, platform facing, which is where you can import your students from Microsoft to Wakelet, sort of the roster functionality. And whilst doing that, we offer for a safe and secure environment where you can engage with these students and assign activities to them. And this exclusive feature will be available very, very soon, and available on free trial, just on back of the fact that we want you to experience it and see how it can enhance your classroom experience and take it forward from there. So do please keep an eye on the chat at the moment. We'll be sending over a form very soon. The form will also, once you fill it out, enable you to get your certificate, which essentially showcases that you have attended the session today and listened to Mike and myself talk about how the two tools can go together. And I believe also, like I said, the template will be sent to you. And yeah, more importantly, what I was trying to remember was the resource collection. So all of the content that Mike just shared, we will also put into that collection, and you will have it all in one place. Thank you so much for joining today. I've had the pleasure of having all of you, which is incredible. But also, just for me, it's been an incredible for me and the team to have you again with us today, Mike. Thanks for taking the time. Any closing comments?
I would just say thank you to all the educators out there. It's a back to school season. A lot of excitement, and just thank you for everything you do with students and families. Microsoft Education absolutely appreciates it. So just gratitude from me.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.